Will the Orioles really continue going after Michael King? And this guy in a Yankees uniform, will he come to the Birds? Hello, everyone. I'm Jon Leiberman coming to you from Bird Central. This is Orioles Digest. Lots of breaking news on this Friday, including all of the invitees to Major League Spring Training. We're going to get to that in a minute because I want to get your thoughts. And Marcus Stroman from the Yankees, potentially a pickup for the Orioles. Lots of news on this very busy Friday as we inch toward spring training. Again, I'm Jon Leiberman. You may know me from television, from True Crime, America's Most Wanted. You may know me from the book I wrote. You may know me from the Howard Stern Show, or you may know me as the man who is yearning for 1983 so the Birds can win another championship, a world championship. And friends, we begin with this. Marcus Stroman. There has been a lot of talk recently about whether Stroman would be a good fit for the Orioles. I'm going to tell you straight up my take so you don't have to wait. My take is no, I don't want any Yankees on the Orioles, especially Marcus Stroman. But let's talk about the facts. You comment, you tell me. You know, the bottom line is that this guy is a two-time All-Star. He is sitting as the sixth starter for the Yankees, and he's set to make $18 million next year. So the Yankees probably want to get rid of him, seeing as he doesn't slot into the starting rotation, and he has some upside, but last year his overall numbers were good, but man, his second half was terrible. That's why, this guy had an ERA, I think, over 5 after the All-Star break. We can take a gander at his stats right now. That's Michael King. We're going to get to him in a moment. Marcus's overall stats from last year in the 30 games, an over 4 ERA, 3.5 walks per 9. He gives up a decent amount of dingers. I mean, look, we all know this. The issue with Stroman historically has been that he is inconsistent, okay? He's inconsistent not only year to year, but even within a year. So he can look like an ace at one point, but the next thing you know, he has like an off button and he's no longer an ace. Again, look, I don't believe Stroman, if he were to come to the Orioles, because look, the Yankees would pay part of that $18 million. So look, he's not going to be uber expensive. But if he comes to the Orioles, I don't believe he slots in as a number 1. He gives you more depth. We're going to get to Grayson Rodriguez and whether he's ready to be an ace in a moment. But again, there is talk about Stroman potentially ending up with the Orioles because there's no room for him on the Yankees, and they'd love to dump that salary. What do you think? Comment right now. I'd love you to comment, but I really want to turn to this guy, Michael King, and get off of Marcus Stroman right now because, look, everybody and their mother is saying, who is the ace going to be for the Orioles? So, look, Michael King. He would be a 1-year rental. There's no doubt about that. We would have to give up solid prospects, probably Kjerstad, probably Kobe Mayo, probably even a third for a 1-year rental. Let's get to the stats. You tell me what you think. Michael King, again, a sub-3 ERA. Love to see it. He strikes out a lot of guys. This is a bona fide number 1 starter. So if Michael King ends up with the Birds, he would immediately slot in as your ace, immediately slot in as your number 1 starter, and, that would be the story. And so, again, though, what I'd like to know from you is, would you give up the farm for Michael King for a 1-year rental? I think you do it if you believe the 2025 campaign is the shot for the Orioles to do this thing. because looking longer term, the window in a way is shrinking. You look at the guys like Gunnar. Gunnar, after 2028, could be a free agent. He could be looking at Juan Soto money. I mean, unless they extend him right now. So again, a lot of question marks there. Tell me what you think in the comments. Like, subscribe. I want to know what you think about the potential pickup of Michael King if the Orioles are able to pull it off. But there's something we haven't talked about, and that is Grayson Rodriguez. Can Grayson Rodriguez be an ace for this ball club? Can he be your number one starter? Can he go out every 5 days, a la a Corbin Burns or a Michael King or a Castillo or a Valdez, or you name the ace? Can Grayson go out and do it? I mean, and that really is the question, because if the answer is indeed yes, then the Orioles don't need to even think about any more moves this year. Grayson's numbers, solid, okay? Solid numbers. You know, he's going to strike a bunch of guys out, a sub-4 ERA. He keeps the walks down. Grayson Rodriguez could indeed be a number one starter. He could. The question is he right now, or do the Orioles need to make a move in the next week or so, like they did when they did with Corbin Burns, to really become, or at least really put themselves in that conversation for the World Series? And that's really the bottom line there. Can they, we want to be in that conversation, and currently we're not. So I want to hear from you. Grayson Rodriguez, give me the comments. Before we go, I want to talk about who's been invited to Major League Spring Training. I actually want to go through it. It's quite interesting. So I want to start with Samuel Basallo. He has been invited to Big League Camp. Very exciting for the 20-year-old. Number 13 overall prospect. It's going to be good to see him in camp. You also have Enrique Bradfield Jr., a stud, an absolute stud. He'll be in camp. Dylan Beavers will be in camp. And we have also just learned that Judd Fabian will be in Major League Camp as well. So again, a bunch of guys who, some of them, we thought they would, be in Major League Camp with the Birds, but now we know at least that these 4 big prospects will be at Big League Camp. Again, I'm Jon Leiberman. Thank you for watching. Lots of breaking news on this Friday. Stay tuned for more. And hey, subscribe to the channel. Myself and my colleague Cam Bryce, we're here for you all season and beyond.